guys, welcome to my channel, and today I will actually be doing something different. I will actually be doing a character profile on one of my wattpad books. I just thought of this idea like out of the blue. I just like it seems like really so much fun to do this. Like it's so different, and I've never really seen anybody do character profiles on like wattpad books. So I think that would be really fun. And then you also know like my thought process behind these characters and like why they are the way they are. So I will actually be doing it on my Fresh Prince of Bel story. My character Zora, so many people love her, and I'm really glad that you guys like that story, because when I first made that story I didn't really think that anybody was gonna like it. So I'm so happy that you guys are reading it and commenting every day. So yeah, so this is basically like just a rundown of Zora as a character. I put some bullets on my some bullet points on my list, and I would just go through it one by one. And if you guys want me to do this with like any of your books, or like another book I've written, or like some of your favorite books, that would be great too. So yeah, let's just get it started. So where did this story come from? This story I came from not out of nowhere. I've been planning this story since August, I believe, and it's because the reunion was happening. So I watched the reunion, and then I went back and rewatched the series as a whole, and I forgot like how much I really do like this show. And I'm like, wow, this show's so good. So I was like, I need to make and I'm like, there's not too many like Fresh Prince of Bel stories on Wattpad. So yeah, that's basically where this story came from. Just me going back and watching the show and thinking like, just wanting to have like a Fresh Prince of Bel just something different. So yeah. So, why is Lovey Simone the face claim? I chose Lovey Simone. I don't even know why I chose Lovey Simone. I think she's just so beautiful and so underrated. And then plus, there aren't very many dark-skinned girls like dark-skinned representation like anywhere. So I kind of wanted to have like a dark-skinned face claim, because I don't know, like I wanted to give dark-skinned girls like somebody they could look at, because I'm not dark-skinned, like I'm light-skinned, but I know it's probably very frustrating to kind of not see yourself portrayed in the media or books or whatever. So I chose Lovey Simone because, like, I don't know, she's just so beautiful and she's so talented and she's so underrated. So I was trying to kind of like get her name out there for people to look her up. So yeah, that's where Lovey Simone came from. So Zora's parents. I don't think I've ever discussed this in a book. I thought I did, but I guess it wasn't like so important to where I need to. But somebody asked what happened to her parents. I assumed, okay, this is actually a fun fact. Fun fact was Grandpa wasn't gonna be a character in this. Well, he was gonna be a character, but he wasn't. It was going to be Zora's dad and her grandfather. And the faith claim for Zora's father was actually going to be Chadwick Boseman. But then he passed away, and I just couldn't bring myself to like write with him in it. So that idea was scrapped. So I personally see, like, I think I would see, I don't know. I don't know. I guess I never really discussed this. I mean, it wasn't never like on my mind, but I would assume that they passed from like a car accident or something like that. You know what I mean? I don't know. I may have like a chapter explaining that backstory, but I never really too much thought about it until like somebody asked. I'm like, I guess I never did think about it. But yeah, like, I was actually originally planning on like Zora's mother leaving her and she's staying with her grandfather and her father. That idea is scrapped. So now it's just her and her grandfather. So yeah. Zora's personality. Her personality is, she doesn't take anything from anybody. You know what I mean? Like, she's quick to call out Will and Carlton on their hypocrisy. She doesn't let some of the things they do or say slide. You know, she's the type of person to, like, she can keep it cute, she can keep it classy, but if you threaten her or her family, she's gonna get in your face. She's gonna drag you across the table. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of the inspiration behind her personality was with Aunt Viv's character, because she's like that too. You know, Aunt Viv, she could keep it cute, she could keep it classy, but if something happens, she could be real too. And that's where Zora's personality kind of, and then with some added layers and stuff in it. So like that's basically where her personality stimulated from. Like, yeah, but she's kind of like the mother of like Will and Carlton. She's kind of like the mother of that trio. You know what I mean? She kind of tries to keep them out of trouble, but she's always getting dragged into the trouble, and she loves it, but she won't admit it. Like they make her life a lot more interesting, but she tries to call them out, but she lets things happen sometimes because she just wants to go on for the adventure. You know what I mean? She's a pretty cool character. You know what I mean? She's not like, she's just such a cool character. You know, I love her, and I just love her as a character. Like, and I feel like as time, she's gonna really become part of her own as time goes on. So yeah, that's basically like her personality. Just like somebody who, you know what I mean, she could blend in well with her surroundings too. You know what I mean? She was raised in the hood for so long, and then she moved to Bel Air, and she's been there for a while, so she knows how to kind of blend and mesh, but she still has that New York side of her. If you cross that line, you could get that, you know, that bark out of her. So yeah, that's just basically what kind of person she is. Zora's fashion. Okay, so many people tell me that they love her. They love her clothes, and thank you. Like, it's kind of hard to do her. It's not hard, but it's hard to find a distinctive fashion for people. And Lovey Simone already has like a really great fashion. Like, her fashion is already pretty dope. So I'm like, this character has to have fashion, because like the fashion in the show was one of the, like, then this was the 90s. I don't know how to describe it, but fashion in the 90s, like, fashion was at its peak in the 90s. You know what I mean? Like, you know, it was all like, and like I was watching the reunion special, you know, they were always talking about they wanted the hottest stuff. So I'm like, okay, I can't do my girl Zora dirty like that. So she has to have like the hottest stuff. She's the type of person to, like, she could wear like a dress, like she could wear like a cotillion ballroom gown, but then the next time you see her, she's wearing like overalls and, you know, Timberland. So it just depends on her surroundings. So that's her style. Like, she could alternate, you know what I mean? That's the thing about Zora. She knows how to blend in well with her surroundings. She doesn't wear, like, and with every character, you know what I mean? They all kind of have like their own distinctive style. So with Zora, I didn't want that. I wanted Zora to like she could switch it up. She could wear jeans, but she could also wear a pantsuit. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's Zora's fashion. So yeah, okay. So this is basically like a list of her relationships with the other people. So her relationship with her grandfather. Her relationship with her grandfather is respect. You know what I mean? Like, her grandfather basically raised her. Like, that's kind of like her father figure in a sense. Like, you know, she's been living with him for like the past five years now, you know what I mean? At the point of the story we're at, like, we're on season 2, so it's been about 5-6 years, I believe. So yeah, like she respects her grandfather, you know what I mean? Like, and she's kind of growing up, and I feel like her grandfather isn't ready for that yet. Zora, she's so independent, you know what I mean? She get it by herself. She doesn't really need anybody to hold her hand. You know, her grandfather also spoils her. Like, in the chapter Clubba Hugga, like, I think it was like the 3rd chapter of my book. And, you know, her grandfather was like, here you go, sweetheart, you can buy whatever you want. So yeah, like he spoils her, like he loves her, you know what I mean? You know, and her grandfather, he's been alone for a while, so Zora's kind of like his little ray of sunshine. So yeah, that's kind of like her relationship with her grandfather. Um, her relationship with Mrs. Banks. Zora admires Mrs. Banks. Like that's the type of person Zora wants to be when she grows up. And I could see a lot of Mrs. Banks in Zora, mainly because like that's where her personality stimulates from. Just like, and a lot of people like they could see Zora like being a teacher, and I can too. You know what I mean? I could see Zora growing up and becoming like a teacher or something. You know what I mean? Like she learns from Mrs. Banks. She listens to her. Like just like Mrs. Banks, the way she carries herself. That's what type of person Zora wants to be in life. So that's her relationship. Her relationship with Mr. Banks is kind of like father-daughter relationships, and it's gonna get fleshed out more as my story continues. But yeah, like it's gonna be like a father-daughter relationship. You kind of see like they still have that. They have that bond. You know what I mean? Like he will kiss her goodnight, like he does with Hillary and Ashley. You know, he'll call her sweetheart and princess and all that other stuff. So yeah, that's basically her relationship with Mr. Banks. And like Mr. and Mrs. Banks, they think of her like their daughter. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this isn't just some girl that lives across the street. Like, this is like their daughter. Like, she's getting punished with them. You know what I mean? Like, in the chapter, Talking Turkey, that was a pretty fun chapter. I really like doing that chapter, which basically Miss Banks had called her over to like help them make Thanksgiving dinner. So I was like, I don't live here. Why am I doing this? You know what I mean? So they see her like a daughter, but I feel like Zora doesn't see it yet. You know what I mean? And I feel like as this book continues, she's gonna start to see that relationship. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's basically their relationship. Her relationship with Carlton. Okay, a lot of you want to know. They're best friends, but they like each other, but they never told each other. It's a very frustrating relationship. Like they both like each other, like, but I get they don't see it for some reason. Like everybody else kind of sees it except for them. Like, you know what I mean? They're very comfortable around each other. They're always touching each other. They're always hugging. They're always together. And yeah, like that's their relationship. And if you are Carlton and Zora shipper, it's gonna be the most frustrating journey of your life because I feel like they could be together if they just sat down and talked to each other because we know they like each other. And a lot of people was like, oh, Carlton has a crush on her. But there's little hints in there too that Zora likes Carlton too. So yeah, like, you know what I mean? So it's like you guys could be together, just talk to each other, and it's gonna be a really long, complicated journey with these two characters. Like if you really ship these two characters, it's gonna be the most frustrating journey of your life. So yeah, her relationship with Will. Okay, Will like in love with her. If you're like at the point of the story where like if you're at like season 2, you know at the end of season 1, Will basically confessed his feelings for her. And Zora loves Will, you know what I mean? But she just doesn't love him in that way. And Will loves Zora because like not only is she beautiful, but she never treated him differently because of where he came from. You know what I mean? She always treated him like they were equals. And Zora did that because like she's been in Will's place. She was an outsider. She had to get used to living in Bel Air and all that other kind of stuff. So yeah, they like the same type of music. They like the same type of clothes. You know what I mean? So they bond on that style. On that style. They bond well with that. And this triangle is. I'm gonna get to that, but yeah, like Will loves her, but she doesn't love him back. And she loves him, but she doesn't love him in a sense to be together. You know what I mean? Like she loves him like her brother. So if any of you are Will and Zora shippers, like I'm sorry, but that's how she feels about him. Like, she loves him, but not in that way. And I got a triangle tab. I'm gonna have to go into depth with that. But yeah, let me see. Her relationship with Hillary. So her relationship with Hillary is, Zora really never saw them as friends. You know what I mean? Until the chapter knowledge is power, I believe. You really saw their friendship. And Zora never really, she's like, I never really thought of Hillary as much. I always thought of her as like my acquaintance. You know what I mean? If I see her on the street, like if I see her, I'll talk to her, but it's not like somebody I will talk to every day. So I think as time goes on, I think you're gonna see, I'm gonna like kind of flesh out their friendship too, because like you never really see, like, because like her best friends are like basically Will and Carlton, so she's always with them all the time. So it's very rare that you see her with like Hillary and all these other characters. And so I'm gonna have like that fleshed out. I'm gonna flesh that out. You know what I mean? So yeah, like they're friends, but they're not like besties. You know what I mean? Her relationship with Jeffrey. I don't think I've ever really had them hanging out before. I may have like a chat, like see, we're only in season 2, so as time goes on, these like she's gonna develop relationships with all these characters that you're gonna see. And I don't know. I just see like I don't know how I see the relationship. I guess I see the relationship as like just them being like, because Jeffrey is so sarcastic and so sassy, you know what I mean? So this TikTok was basically like, Jeffrey is, what's that song by Megan Thee Stallion? Savage. Like, he's classy, bougie, and he's ratchet. And so that's basically what Jeffrey is. So I see Zora and Jeffrey's relationship kind of being like, just sarcastic comebacks. Like, they kind of come back, like, you know what I mean? I don't know, like, maybe they're in the kitchen one day just hanging out, and then like, you know what I mean? And Jeffrey would say like a sassy remark. I don't know, but yeah. But I'm gonna kind of try to flesh out these relationships. I mean, we're only in season 2, like at this point. So yeah, like okay, let's see. Her relationship with Ashley. Okay, this is personally one of my favorite ones because I have so many ideas for this one. So Ashley sees Zora as like her cool, fun older sister. You know what I mean? And Zora sees Ashley like her little sister. You know what I mean? And they're best friends. You know what I mean? Like, and their relationship's gonna get better. I feel like their relationship. I have a lot of plans for their relationship because Ashley's still young, and she's gonna grow up. But a lot of people, like, with this triangle in the last chapter, they were like, oh my god, Ashley just needs to mind her business. She's doing too much. But I'm like, Ashley's only doing that because she cares about Zora. You know what I mean? She doesn't want her to explode. Because, like, I'm going to get more into depth with this whole triangle thing, like, at the last one below. But yeah, and as time goes on, I actually have a lot of plans with these 2 characters. Like, because, like, if you watch the show, you know that Ashley starts to rebel in the later seasons. So their relationship's gonna have this strain of, do I be like her cool, fun older sister, or do I try to protect her? You know what I mean? So Zora's gonna be put in that type of predicament. And the episode, what's that episode? It's a Wonderful Lie, I believe. It's the episode Ashley was in bed with a linebacker. That episode, you really gonna have like some heavy Zora and Ashley moments in it. Like, I already have it like planned out, like, cause like, you know what I mean? Like, Zora is gonna be like, why would you do that? You know what I mean? If you ever watched the episode, you know, she was in bed, she went to this college party. Ashley went to this college party, she was in bed with this linebacker, and Zora's gonna be like, I thought we were closer than, I thought we were friends. Like, so now I'm in this predicament, like, do I be your friend, or do I be like, what do I do? You know what I mean? So she's very split in the middle, and as the seasons go on, I'm gonna have like, there are gonna be moments like that with Ashley and Zora, but but they look like, as of right now, they're like sisters. You know what I mean? Like, they both like, you know what I mean? Zora, Ashley could talk to Zora, if that makes, like, she could talk to her about anything. Because, like, Zora is the only one who really doesn't baby her. And Zora kind of treats her like a teenager and not like a 5-year-old. And Ashley really respects that. And you know what I mean? That's how their relationship is. Her relationship with Nikki. Okay, so Nikki isn't introduced yet. Nikki isn't introduced until season 4? Season 5? Was it season 4? I think it was season 4. He wasn't introduced. I don't know. But I don't know how I'm going to have this relationship, mainly because he wasn't introduced yet. But maybe it's going to be just like this cute sibling relationship, like big sister, little brother relationship. Or, like, I don't know, or maybe Nikki's going to have, like, this huge crush on her. Like, you know, like an innocent little crush. I don't know. Yeah, like, Nikki has to come before I decide. But, yeah, that's basically, I'm still trying to work out that. So, my next one is her insecurities. So this is really gonna kickstart in like season 4 when they go to college. There's gonna be like some insecurities that come out of Zora. It's gonna be great. You know what I mean? It's gonna be great. It's gonna be you're gonna. I feel like it's gonna work out. Because, like, it's going to show that she is still human. Even though she's just this strong, confident person, she does still have things that gets to her. So, yeah, I'm actually planning on doing a chapter about her hair. If any of you know Lovey Simone, she's a natural girl. She's always had, like, her natural fro and all that other stuff. It's very rare that she would like straighten her hair or anything. But I actually have this chapter planned where it's gonna be like these group of girls. They're gonna give her like this basket and it's gonna be filled with like relaxers and flat irons and hot combs and basically telling her she needs to like straighten her hair. She's gonna feel like, and Zora's gonna feel some insecurities about that. So, and they're really, when she gets to college, I want to give her, she's not going to be too vulnerable, but there's actually going to be some things that happen to her in college that I want to happen, you know what I mean? Because like, I feel like I could do a lot more with her character when she's an adult in a whole new world than like as of right now. She's like a teenager. So yeah. And finally, the triangle. Oh my god. I think this is one of the biggest appeals of the book is the triangle. Who is she gonna end up with? To be honest, I don't know. Like, I don't know how I want this triangle to end personally. Like, I know how I want it to end, but I don't know how I want it to end, if that makes any sense. Like this triangle is basically like, I don't want it to go into season 3. Like, cause okay, if you watch the show, every season takes place in between September and May. That's like 9 months. And if we're gonna go off of that, the end of season 1 took place in May of 91, and season 2 ended in May of 92. So that's like a year. I don't want, like, the thing with the triangle is I don't want it to be too short. Like, I don't want it to end so soon, because you don't just wake up one day and be like, my feelings for this person is gone. Like, no, you don't do that. So, but I don't want it to drag too long with people getting bored of it. Like, okay, she just needs to choose somebody. So I don't know how I want this triangle to end. But I know for a fact that I don't want it going into season 3, because in season 3, like, they're gonna be in their. I want them to be friends, if that makes any sense. Like, I want them to kind of be friends. Like, I want them to be. I don't know. Like, they are friends. Like, Will, Zora, and Carlton, the 3 of them, they are friends. But like, I don't want this triangle to really get in the way of that. Cause like, okay, we're in season 2 right now. Basically, like, Zora kind of just wants this whole triangle thing to just go away. And like, they're all kind of avoiding it. Like, they're not talking about it. And there's like this huge, heavy tension in this group. So I don't want this triangle to last too long. But I don't know how I'm going to end it. I don't want it to end on the last episode of season 2, because the last the last episode of season 2 is striptease for 2. And I don't think that's the type of episode to end the triangle on. So I don't know. But I know for a fact that I don't want it drug out too long into season 3. So I don't know. I may be asking some of you, like, what are ways I can end this triangle? But yeah, like, basically, like, Will likes Zora. Zora likes Carlton. Carlton likes her back, but Zora doesn't know that Carlton likes her back. But we know, like, we know. But Carlton is in a relationship. So, yeah, they're kind of in this, like, triangle thing. So, they're in, like, this triangle, and it's very confusing. And they kind of just all want to avoid it. And in the first episode, of season 2, Zora kind of comes home and she's like, me and my boys, nothing's gonna change that. But there's just this heavy cloud of tension between this group, and like they're all friends. It's just they haven't talked about this, and a lot of people were like, Ashley just needs to mind her business. But Ashley only did that because she loves her. Ashley only did that because she doesn't want she doesn't want Zora to just explode, and like, you know what I mean? She wants what's best for her. So that's Ashley's take on it. Do I think any of the other characters? I don't know if any of the other characters are aware of this triangle. Okay, Carlton's not aware that Will likes Zora. Carlton's already kind of jealous of their relationship as a whole. So he's not aware of that. So maybe I'll have maybe Carlton will find out that like Will like Zora, and I don't know. Like, I don't know how I'm gonna end this triangle. Like, I don't want it to last too long, but I don't want it to be too short. But I also don't want it to I want it to be a mutual ending, if that makes any sense, where everybody's satisfied. Like, because I don't want it to be like, oh, well, this person gave up Zora for the other person to be happy. Like, I don't want that. And then they still secretly like her. That's gonna drag on. Like, I don't want that. I want these characters to just figure out their feelings. The triangle's so frustrating. I don't know how to end this triangle. Triangles are hard in general. Do I know who she's gonna end up with? I know who I have a feeling of who I want her to end up with, but I may change my mind. I don't know. So yeah. But yeah, that's basically like Zora's character profile. Like, yeah, so like you guys should like send me to read some other books or anything, like some of your books, some of your favorite books, even like one of my books, and I would do a character profile on them, because this is actually really fun. It's very different, and yeah, that's all. So bye.